Hello, my name's Andrew Park and I'm from Geelong RC Offroaders. We're at the 2018 Hobbies Direct and Bunnings Warehouse Avalon Cup. We're a 1/5 scale off-road remote control car racing club, and our aim is to intertwine with our sponsors and Geelong Future groups to host world-class remote controlled car events.
G'day, my name's Hamish McRitchie. I'm from Hobbies Direct down in Geelong, and it's great to be a part of the Geelong RC Offroaders as a member. Probably not as active as a member as most of them out here, but every time I pop in, from time to time, there's always something new. Plenty of man hours go into this operation, and it's pretty impressive when you come out here and you see the track conditions and also the driver's stand, which they've put a huge amount of effort into. Obviously hosting the Australian 5th Scale Nationals last year in October, which is a fantastic event. Run really well by the guys down here at Geelong RC Offroaders.
The club's been running for about 5 years as a large-scale club. Prior to that, it was a 1/8 track, and we've brought it up to world-class standard. The track's 287 metres long, and we do a lot of preparatory work to get the club ready for an event like this.
Some really dedicated and keen drivers out there, so obviously not shy of putting a couple of Ks on the car and packing up and come for an action-packed 4 or 5 days.
This event has approximately 40 entrants, and we're racing 4 classes. We run 2 classes of 2-wheel drive cars and 2 4-wheel drive classes. So for the Avalon Cup, we are running a 2-day event, and it's run on 5 heats with 4 classes of 10-minute heats over the 2 days, and then we've got 4 classes running 30-minute finals.
Hi, I'm James Grant. We're at Geelong RC Offroaders at Avalon Cup. This is a Lossy 5T short course truck. Runs a 30.5cc reed case engine, Ollie-Mat pipe, MIP clutch, high-tech steering servo, giant servo, MIP shocks. I run lockdown tyres, highly modified. Yeah,
Right.
It's got all the good gear on it. It's reliable, doesn't break down. Had RCs and that when I was younger, but obviously something this big's more expensive, so yeah, obviously got a job and pay for it all myself. Saw these on the internet and yeah, I was interested in them, so I purchased one, and it just goes on from there. I got a trailer decked out with spare parts, little workshop basically, got a 12-volt compressor, lights, 12-volt, 240-volt power on demand. Big cars, expensive hobby, it's good fun, I like it.
Hi,
Hi, my name's Donald Mayer. I am a member of the Geelong RC Offroader Club. We're racing at the Avalon Cup this weekend, 2018. 1/5 scale. I'm running two-wheel drive EFRA and four-wheel drive Arkmark. I've been racing all classes. I've been racing since probably 30 years now. I've been racing 1/5 scale, large scale, probably for 5-6 years now. Like I said, I'm running two classes today. This is the two-wheel drive. This is Avalon Tracks. It is a two-wheel drive EFRA car. That's the class it's in. It's a Dutch car, fully aluminium, two-wheel drive of course, drives from the rear, four-wheel drive independent suspension, 23cc engine. For this class, I don't like the extra power. The maximum is 26cc you can run these cars. Front brakes are air brakes. Rear brakes is just straight servo linkage brake. Runs on two-stroke fuel, just standard 98 octane petrol and two-stroke oil. It's a bit of a handful because it's two-wheel drive, a bit harder to drive, but yeah, it's good fun. Okay, I've had dramas today with the air brakes. I've disconnected them. Actually, that's the air cylinder for the front brakes, activated by a servo. The other servo activates rear brakes and a throttle, of course. Just the battery for all the electronics. We've got the receiver and kill switch in there. Kill switch is in case we lose radio signal or etc. So if we lose radio signal, it goes out of control, it actually kills the engine, so we don't hit anybody. Like I said before, two-wheel drive, all the drives at the back, rear diff, drivetrains from the clutch, engages at a certain amount of revs, exhaust pipe. That's about it. Main servo for the steering, and that's about it. The weather's good, and it's the wind's keeping the dust away. So yeah, good fun. See what happens after the finals.
I'm Adam, I'm a member of Geelong RC Offroaders. We're here at the 2018 Avalon Cup. I'm driving a two-wheel drive HPI Baja, running a 29cc Zenoa motor, CPI T4 pipe, Savox steering servos. Apart from that, it's pretty much standard. Yeah, so I've got the 40 kilo Savox steering servo. I've got the modified SimSteer steering, which is a lot more precise over standard HPI. Running a centered dry filter instead of oiling one all the time. Apart from that, it's all stock. I've been into RCs for 30 years, so it's just a progression of playing in the yard and bashing out at parks to come out and start racing, different environment, and just more fun than bashing around.
We race a calendar of 10 events throughout the year, and we've got fun race meets in between those scheduled calendar events. Each race meeting consists of around 2 to 3 heats and a 30-minute final.
But yeah, I got myself into the hobby when I was about 12 with my younger brother, sort of looking for something outdoors that we could do with a little bit of mechanics. You know, always liked tinkering and fixing things. Always had an interest with remote control cars, as I guess a lot of kids do. And the parents, you know, weren't willing to buy us the first one, so we got ourselves a little drift car and sort of progressed from there and led into a pretty serious addiction. You know, got over 20 cars in the collection now, a range of drones and helis. I just think it's a great and exciting time to be in the hobby. It's constantly evolving. I mean, look at the guys out here. They've got the rock crawling track going in and also the 10th scale off-road track as well. And obviously their 5th scale club is pumping, doing some really good stuff out here. So we're really quite fortunate to have a club like this so close to Geelong, just 40 minutes down the road. And also Melbourne, it's sort of like that midway. Got Hoppers Crossing, so really central location here. So it's fantastic, really accessible for a lot of people commuting from, you know, all over sort of the state. And we saw a lot of that through the Nationals. Guys coming down from Queensland, making some Western Australia's another one.
The club's also developing a 1/10th scale short course track and a crawler club. This will bring excitement and fun for younger people and give the club some variety to host different events in the future. We would love to see some more children attend the club to take part in the smaller scale club and develop that to assist the club to grow and provide a service for young people to have fun.
My name is Bernie Reichart and I'm a member of the Geelong Off-Road RC Club. We race 5th scale remote control cars which are driven by petrol engines. Class that I'm in is a 4-wheel drive buggy. It's a controlled class. We have a 26 size engine and the buggy configuration that a minimum weight and minimum standards. And I've been racing this now in this club for 4 years, and we come out here to have a bit of fun, enjoy a bit of racing with some friends, and try and win where possible. Battery, the electronics, the receiver and the fail-safe is all in there. We have in this car I have hydraulic brakes, and we have the front brakes and we have the rear brakes on this servo. We have twin steering servos due to the fact that it's 4-wheel drive and you need a bit more power to steer the tyres. Controlled exhaust pipe that belongs to this class of car because it fits in here. 26cc engine. Single speed gearbox. There's also the hydraulic brake that's in on the shaft at the back, and of course the air cleaner and so forth. 800 cc's of fuel, which is all we're allowed to run in this class. And the shock absorbers are standard. This car is known as a FG, that's the brand of car, it's German made, and it's an all aluminium car as opposed to a lot of plastic cars or plastic wishbones and things like that. The wheels are shaft driven with axles, and there's a belt drive up the middle of the car. So the front and rear diffs are driven by a rubber belt with teeth. I've been involved in remote control cars for probably 20 years. Did a lot of running with other cars that I have, and when they opened the track here, I joined and came to compete with the rest of the fellas. We're here at Avalon at the Geelong Off-Road Club, and we're having a wonderful day. The weather's not too hot, a little bit breezy, but we're all having a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll get a reasonable place in my class.
The RC Tough Truck Challenge Australia on the 11th of November. It's a teamed event, so you'll need yourself and at least one other teammate. If you don't have a teammate, we can assign one on the day. You will be independently judged. We have toilet facilities here, we will have food on the day, and we're looking to get some vendors as well. Everyone's more than welcome to come down. If you do want to find out more about the event, TTC Australia page on Facebook. Lots of fun driving, lots of thrills and spills, a lot of broken parts. But if you're prepared for a big day out, this is exactly where you want to be.
The hobby's been a fascination of mine since about the age of 8. I can remember my father buying me an old Scalextrics track, which was a figure 8, about 3 foot long, back in the late 60s. And I've been gradually progressing through the hobby ever since then. And naturally, as you get a job and earn more money, you can buy more toys. And I've got quite a large collection. I've been doing this now for just short of 50 years. It's been a long passion and one that we all enjoy. You know, we often have barbecues and have a few beers and relax. Most of the nights are very social. There's a little bit of competition, but everyone, you know, seems to relax and have a great time. The club's open to all members or anybody who wants to come along. There's a website for the Phoenix Slot Car Group in Melbourne. Any new members are welcome, and I can guarantee you once you start, it won't be long before you progress from one car through to 100 or 200, but just try and keep most of them away from your wife or your partner. My current collection would probably estimate between 800 and 1,000 cars. That might seem a lot, but a lot of it's been acquired over a long period of time. There's a number of different brands that produce slot cars. A lot of the cars emanate from the UK and Europe, and the quality of these cars has grown immensely over that period of time. 130 scale trucks with finite detail on the motors and the drivers and the harnesses. So yeah, the racing's pretty realistic with the cars that look really good, and most of the guys tend to buy their favourite cars and follow their favourite drivers. We've even got the old Ford and Holden rivalry going, and we can always guarantee you that at Bathurst time, a Ford is generally always winning. Okay, so this particular car is one car that I dreamed of getting ever since I was a kid. I remember seeing it in a catalogue and thought to myself one day I was going to get that car, but as it was produced in the 60s, I was only a boy, I wasn't earning any money. Mum and Dad didn't want to buy it for me because they didn't want to have a slot car track lying all over the lounge room floor. And as time goes by, the cars went out of circulation. I happened to come across it probably about 5 years ago, and I had no hesitation in buying it. It's just one of the classic Formula One cars that you'd ever see, and it's a Ferrari, of course, which is obviously a very popular marque. But again, it's just a well-modelled and it's a beautiful car. The chassis is primitive compared to what can be produced today, but it's still in working condition. And with the help of the tyres I was talking about before that are aftermarket now, you can actually race this car around the track with confidence. But that is my all-time favourite Formula One car and slot car. We'd love to have new members join us, and it's open to all ages and all genres. Anyone can come along, and if you're interested in getting in touch with us, you just need to jump on to the internet, phoenixslotcars.com, or even if you key in Slot Cars Melbourne, it'll come up and you'll see the Phoenix guys. There's a contact number there. Send us an email and we'll send you the details, and you can come along. The website's quite expansive, there's a lot of information there, and we look forward to seeing you.
So we've got some very special prizes today, sponsored by Bunnings Warehouse. We've got some gift vouchers and hats and some sun visors. Hobby's director is supplying all of the fabulous trophies for the event. We've got etched mugs for our winners, kindly donated by Hobby's Direct, our major sponsor.
So we're sponsoring the event by supplying the trophies, which will be presented later today to the finalists. So there's been some pretty good racing out there today, and it'll be interesting to see what happens and who takes the cake.
It's been an awesome weekend. We've had a fabulous time here at the 2018 Avalon Cup, and we thank all of our sponsors, Hobby's Direct, Bunnings Warehouse, Melvic Plumbing, Jap Racing, Safety Quip, DDM, Flash Roofing Supplies, Rock Brothers Transport, and Geelong Power Sweep. To get in contact with Geelong RC Offroaders, visit our website www.geelongrcoffroaders.com.au and Geelong RC Offroaders on Facebook.